to make you feel good and feel good about that moving forward as the season really gets into the stretch run here?
Yeah, we, proud of the whole Joe Gibbs team. I mean, it's a testament to what hard work's going on in the shop and, bringing good race cars to the racetrack. And definitely wasn't very optimistic going into the day, obviously. But as the pace slows down, track gets hot, we typically get good, and that's when our car really took off today, was when the track slickened up and the pace slowed down. So proud of the adjustments we made. Everything was great. Everything was looking good. We had us a big lead with enough fuel to make it, and just didn't get it quite full on that second to last stop. It was the one thing we had to get done to win the race, and just didn't get it quite full. Had to make that extra stop, go back to the teens, 15th, 16th, and battle our way back to third. So that's a very strong comeback for us. And regardless, my pit crew's done a phenomenal job all year long. So it's a great overall team effort today. Questions for Denny Hamlin. If you have one, raise your hand. David Carabello right there on the left, and then we'll go back here to the gentleman in the back.
Well, do you think you win the race if you don't have the mistake on the fueling? And two, is Matt Kenseth your landlord now?
Yeah, he has been for about a month. I was pretty confident. I was pretty confident we were going to win the race. Our car was just fast. We didn't get passed by anyone. We didn't. All day long, nobody really passed us. We were just faster than everyone that was around us and faster than everyone that was behind us. So I knew with the right track position we could win the race. I had one bad restart where, the trouble was when that caution did come out and we were in the lead with that big lead, everyone had just stopped and we didn't have to stop. So that put me out there with 10 to 12 lap tires older than the field. And that's when we kind of got slid back, but we still maintained top 5 with old tires. And so, I knew that we had a car capable of winning for sure. It feels good to have a car that is capable of winning, and really we've been turning the corner here the last couple months. So it's been a lot of fun going to the racetrack.
Let's go to the gentleman in the back row, and then we'll go over here to Bob.
Bill Kramer, Racing Roundup Show. Your battle with Matt towards the end, you were running pretty much neck and neck up to the caution. The restart, was that the difference?
Yeah, the 5 slid back on that restart. My goal on the restart is, I'm not going to win the race from 5th. So Matt was restarting 4th, which is a really bad place to restart. So I was trying to give him a lane on the bottom of turn 1 to let him get in and get down, and maybe he could make some hay up there. And so he got down, which is good, and he got under the 5, and they were side drafting each other through the corner, and it allowed me to get that big run down the back straightaway. And of course, after I feel like I gave him a break, then I feel like I was going to take a little bit down the back straightaway and try to get the position. So it's good that we were all able to finish right there in the line. Wish it was 1, 2, 3, but it's the next best thing.
Let's go over here to Bob on the front row, and they'll go to the man from, I believe it's IU.
So Bob Kravitz with the Indianapolis Star. In a young man's sport, what is it about Jeff Gordon that allows him at the age of 42 or 43, whatever he is right now, to continue?
Really fast race cars. Really, really fast race cars. And he's pretty good, too.
Gentleman here in the middle, raise your hand, sir.
Like the running back? Oh, okay.
One D and an I, not 2 Ds and an
Oh,
E.
okay, gotcha.
How would you describe the competition level today compared to some of the races we've had here the last few years?
It's all pretty close. I mean, every year it's pretty much the same in the sense of, you get a car that is decently fast. Let's say, just call it a top 10 to 15 car and put him out front. He's probably going to pull away from the pack. It's just, this track is made, it's a 1-lane racetrack, and we have big, huge spoilers on the back of our cars that make a big wake. And so we rely so much on downforce now to keep our car stuck that The front car has an advantage, then it's the second place guy has the next best advantage, and on and on and on. So the person in 25th doesn't have a chance to run speeds as the leaders. So I thought relatively the competition today was pretty good. You saw cars running fairly close to each other. There was some passing. I was able to pass a little bit, which is pretty good because we had our car, I felt like, just right. So it's just it's tough out there. It's when you have a bad qualifying day like we did yesterday, it's easy to get discouraged and think that you pretty much got no shot at winning. But when we had a car like we had today, we saw pretty quick that, regardless of where the competition was, we could make some ground up, and I thought it was obviously a great race today.
Let's go back in the corner to Dustin. Raise your hand, and then we'll get Chris.
Dustin Long, MRN.com. Denny, with the way that the pit strategy was with the nationwide race, did that show you guys that what you could do? Because obviously early on, you guys kind of took your own direction. Was that as much kind of giving you guys the idea to do what you did, or was that already the plan?
We really didn't do anything crazy. We just didn't short pit like everyone else did. Guys were trying to play it like a fuel mileage race and obviously run it backwards and short pit. We took 4 tires every time. We never took 2 tires. So we just ran it, our car, till it went empty and pitted and went again till it was empty. So we didn't do anything crazy. We just were able to make up a ton of spots. We had awesome, great pit stops, and all that just kept moving me forward, inching forward every part of the day. And the way the strategies all worked out with everyone else, they put me up front by pitting so much, by short pitting. So, we were sitting really, really good there when we had our huge lead, and we had enough fuel to make it. So, it's just that's the brakes. You don't always get stuff to go your way, but really this track allows for wacky strategy, and really this race is. I saw a quote some driver said that this is a very frustrating track for the drivers, and I totally agree because it's a lot of this race is out of our hands. It's about how fast our car is and how strategic our crew chiefs are, and so we had it all put together today, I feel like.
Did it surprise you, all the wacky strategy? Were you kind of concerned that you were kind of doing your own thing?
Yeah, I mean, it concerned me a little bit. Once I saw all these guys pitting and we were not, it was weird because I didn't want to get beat on tires. But the great thing was we were running such fast lap times on old tires that we weren't giving up that time. So then when we pitted 4 tires, we were just mowing through the field. So our car was just fast, and our strategy worked because our car was fast. But another reason the strategies all played out in so many different ways is because you had a tire that didn't wear out that much. Even though it did drop off, which is a good thing, it didn't wear out. So guys were able to stay out and change lefts or rights or forward, none. So that strategy, the crew chiefs can do some crazy things when they have those options.
Chris
Knight, NASCAR.com. Denny, Kyle also said that Joe Gibbs Racing has really been focused on turning the page. Is there specifically one thing that you guys have been working on to get ready for not only the rest of this regular season, but the chase too? And then can you give your thoughts on Pocono next weekend?
Well, our focus all year has been build the best race cars we can for September because that's when it really, really counts. And you can lead the regular season. You can have 10 wins before the chase starts. And if you have one bad race or you don't run as well for those first 3 races of the chase, you're out. So our biggest thing is trying to time this correctly and trying to get our cars to run well in the fall when it really, really counts. And so we're starting to turn the corner, I feel like, for that reason. So we've been working hard to try to run well all year. We really have. We've been off, but our cars are starting to turn that corner and become more competitive, obviously. Pocono will be a lot like this. It's going to be the same thing, strategy plays. Everything is going to be the same pretty much the next week.
Let's go in the back far corner. Matt, raise your hand.
Denny, Matt Weaver, Popular Speed. How does the communication between you and your teammates and all the different crews change from when you guys are really at the top of your game compared to where y'all were earlier in the season where there were struggles?
Well, when I was talking about the strategies and the different strategies you can play, but if your car is slow, you're just going to be in the way and you're going to fall back anyway. So when your cars are fast like we have, we're able to play those different strategies. Early in the year, we'd just be lucky to run 10th at some weeks because our car just wasn't capable of getting there, all of our cars. So now it is, and it's becoming a lot more fun to get on the racetrack and be competitive and be able to pass cars that has been superior to you all year long. So I feel like the door is open for the crew chiefs now at Joe Gibbs Racing to start playing those strategies and doing some things that is going to make us better in the long run.
Go ahead, Matt.
In the shop during the work week, what is the communication like between y'all struggle and now?
It's the same. We do things all the same way. We still meet and talk about our weekend and what we can do to be better. And so, even though morale isn't at its highest when all the teams are not running well, we still see the light at the end of the tunnel, and days like this kind of gives us that light.
Back of the room, go ahead.
Bill Kremering Racing Roundup Show. Where there was originally a schedule to put aprons on the inside of the turns, is that going to be a big advantage to you guys to be able to run and make at least two wides going through here?
It'll be tough. I mean, I don't know, and until you see it, you don't know. I know Pocono attempted something like that in the tunnel turn. It doesn't work at all because it's like running through a ditch. It's so deep, and our cars run so low to the ground that there can't be any transitions. The banking's got to be close to what it is in the corners. So I don't know. It's tough to say until you really see what they're planning on doing. You really don't know how it's all going to play out. But right now there's one line, and it's right along the bottom.
Go in the middle here. IU, raise your hand, please. Get him the mic. We need a microphone so they can pick you up on the stream.
You sort of answered this earlier, but Jeff Gordon described that final restart as the restart of his life. It was like, what did you see up at the front from your vantage point, specifically like down on the backstretch where it seemed like cars were just all over the place?
Well, my crew chief told me that the 24 had a bad restart on the top earlier in the race, and so I thought that the 5 was in prime position to win the race. He had looked like he had a dominant car until he gets put back in third or fourth place, and then he becomes just like everybody else, can't go anywhere. So it was all about who was going to get to the backstretch first, was going to win the race, and the 24 did the best job of that. And then with that, the 5 got jumbled up with me and the 20 and the 18. So once the 24 got clear, whoever's going to be clear down the back straightaway after a restart was going to win the race. You can't catch guys with this aero deal.
Go ahead, Bruce.
Bruce Martin, race day on Fox Sports Radio. 234 at one of the most challenging tracks on the circuit. What does it say about the overall strength of Joe Gibbs Racing right now?
Well, we'll get a lot of attention this week about, we've turned the corner, but it is just a small victory. I mean, we're still just inching our way there, and we're not, even though today we competed for a race win, we've got to do this on a more consistent basis, and next week will again be a big challenge for us. Pocono and Michigan, all the big, fast motor racetracks is going to be the challenges for our race teams. We feel like we've turned the corner on the short track stuff. I feel like we've got a good package there now. We showed pretty strong at Loudon last week, so we're starting to put it all together. I mean, it's all coming together slowly, which is frustrating from the driver's standpoint because you want to be competitive from February to November, but it's hard to do in our sport to stay on top like that. So we're trying to crest at the right time.
One more question right here in the back. Get him a microphone, please. Raise your hand.
Matt Embry, RuggensRacing.com. Denny, obviously, yes, 2, 3, 4, but at the same time, frustrating that you couldn't give Toyota their first win here at the Brickyard today.
Yeah, it's frustrating, but not the way I woke up this morning. I would have taken 13th probably. So it was only until lap 10 that I realized maybe we got something a little better than that today. So, like I said, we were miserable on Friday and Saturday over a second off the pace in qualifying. So once the track slowed down to normal pace, our car was really fast. So I was confident to see a lot of Toyotas up front today, mostly up front as in the top 10, where normally here lately on these big tracks we've been all in the teens or worse. So hopefully as organizations, MWR and Joe Gibbs Racing, we're all getting a little bit better.
Denny, good show here today. We'll see you at Pocono. Thank you.
Appreciate it.